Okay, so I have like this really awful rabbit update. So, my favorite rabbit, the big brown rabbit, had babies and she made a nest and she made one over here and she made a crappier one over here. But whenever they have their first babies, domesticated rabbits sometimes really suck at it. So she actually had her babies under my car on the pavement and they all died. I counted 4. Now the big brown rabbit is unaccounted for. I can't find her. I looked for her everywhere. So that could be a number of things. That could be that a male rabbit is chasing her around because they're really fertile right after, there's Tanner, right after they have babies, they're really fertile and they can be bred immediately, although it's, you shouldn't, but they're not under my control anymore. So she could be being harassed by a male. She could also have been killed. Either she could have died during childbirth, rabbit birth, or she could have been killed by a predator. But it was during the day because I seen her this morning. So it happened sometime this afternoon. Anyways, these rabbits here have been really acting strange. So I've been watching them and they led me to this rabbit. Now this rabbit is soaking wet and it has a wound on its front leg. And I was going to immediately shoot it and put it out of its misery. But when I went to pick it up, it seemed to have a lot of fight left in it. So half of me was like, I should just put it down and end its suffering. And the other half of me was like, well, I've seen these rabbits get sick and get wounded and get better. Not this severe. And I don't have high hopes for it, but I thought I'd give it a chance at least. I don't want to bring it inside. I handled it with gloves and then I immediately washed my hands and arms just in case it contracted rabies or something. We all know how the rabies goes around here with me. So I put a blanket on top of her, food and water. I don't have high hopes, but I'm going to give her a chance. And if she gets worse, I'm going to keep an eye on her today, the rest of today. If it gets worse or whatever, then I am going to have to put her down. But this is Fernando. Fernando, where's the brown rabbit at? You two usually hang out all the time. Where'd she go? Where is she? I also found, oh, here, let me show you. That rabbit over there, look at all the rabbit shit. That rabbit, that white rabbit, that's Badass's brother. I didn't give him a name because there's only 2 white ones, so there's Badass and Badass's brother. I don't know where Badass is. Badass got his name because he's very aggressive. This rabbit and his brother are still alive. Domino and not Domino. And then, let me show you. Midnight, one of my original breeders, the only breeder that survived, is still alive too. So the only white rabbit I cannot find is Badass. Now that doesn't mean that Badass is dead, but it could. It could mean that Badass is. Midnight hates me, by the way. She remembers those breeding days. But let me show you what I found in the yard. Also, I'm not going to show you anything graphic. I know people don't like that. Okay, so I found this little clump here of white fur. And then, bear with me, let me just get over there. I found this clump of fur here too. Rabbits do fight. And there's more fur over here. But this is kind of like a lot of fur for a fight. So I'm thinking maybe Badass is dead. I don't see anything like, I don't know. I don't like no blood or anything. So I don't know for sure. That's the thing. When you have yard rabbits, you really can't control these things. Anyways, that's the update. I'll let you guys know if you're interested. I'm gonna go in now because it's snowing all over my phone. Alrighty, bye-bye. Okay, so like I said, she has some fight in her, and she actually righted herself, which is good, but I'm worried about hypothermia. I am not bringing her inside. I'm not gonna expose whatever she may or may not have to my other animals or myself or my husband, but you know, this is as safe as I can make her for now. I don't know what happened to her, but I'll keep an eye. That's all I can do.